Welcome back to Workers and Resources. We're back in our new Distribution Office Challenge run. Having set up Tapovina, which is supposed to handle up to 3 farms in its surrounding area with plenty of space around it. Might be a bit hard to see, as it's dark right now. We've also planned a rail line connection through the mountain from our existing train track, which is currently being built. Right now they will have to handle the construction of the tunnel system, and that might take a little while. As soon as we can start drilling into the tunnel, the traffic jam warnings should go away at that point. These signals are also obsolete. And I guess you could move through, just so we can get the signal sorted out. There we go, other train is moving. And we remove that snapping point and everything is fine again. Our lumber area, still our most profitable industry by far. Well, by far might not be right, but I think it is by far. If we add wood and lumber together, it is by far more than double the profits of our iron ore exports. Prices might change at some point, but lumber is pretty cheap to make regardless. So our lumber industry will continue working, and at some point we will have to either provide them some personal cars, or just purchase them and replace them manually. We will have to set up a car dealer here at some point in this area, so they can buy them locally. What are we gonna do today? Probably hook up the farms. Probably plan out and connect the farm buildings. Also finish existing constructions like this repair station, of course. But planning wise, we have to set up a large farm with a large grain storage attached. And it shouldn't be too far away. The only real point of this road is to connect to this building, nothing else. So I don't think there's going to be anything else here, except we need a road to the grain silo, etc. But from a general perspective, a road connection to the farm and the grain silo is everything we need. We'll build it like the farm here, the grain silo here, somewhere, so the train lines can go past the grain silo, coming from this side, and that will allow us to hook them up. And that is the plan. With the road connection phasing in between. I think that's exactly what we need. We'll have to flatten the terrain a little bit. A little bit much, apparently. Let's set up the farm. Like so. We will have like waste storages on the outside that will hold biological waste, which we will probably have to start getting through recycling. That is what I might get from my 2 remaining researches. I would like to get the cableway station, but with the iron ore mine currently not being profitable, it's not really a priority. And then last but not least, grain silo. A monster of a grain silo, because we need the capacity. Train lines on this side. They can then go out here, hook up into another grain silo on this side. I think we'll have to see where the other farm will go. The other farm will basically have to travel up here and do some farming in this area, and then another farm handling stuff on this side, I guess. From a general concept, this is what I want to do. Fire trucks will have to travel up here, and then if there's a vehicle getting crops for any reason, we'll have to get out of this side. And that's basically what we want with the first farm set up. Still have to plan the train lines, but that's not that difficult. So one train line would hook up this way. We will flatten the terrain before we place it. But this will hook up nicely. Just gotta get the terrain smoothed out. And the other rail line can go along there too. With line snapping enabled. And then we have a train line going past pretty much. Once we hook up the other grain silo. So there would be another rail line coming out of this. This one. And as I said, we might have a roundabout. So there might be another train line going here. Originally I said I wanted this to be well, it's probably not going to be a single train line. Does the roundabout make sense? I don't know. I think I'm just going to hook it up that way for now. So they can build these train lines into the grain silo. We will need electricity. We will not need anything else. Maybe in the future we will need liquid fertilizer, but I will cheap out on that, just using our own solid fertilizer instead. Also, just gonna use underground wires, because we can. Let's see. There's probably not going to be too much of a field in here, and even if there is, there shouldn't be any flattening necessary. So we can hook up the electricity that way, and it'll be fine. I will hook up some dirt roads to get the construction up and running a little bit faster. Okay. And maybe this road. There we go. And yeah, then just from this road connection on, basically develop a farming area. For this farm, mainly on this side. I guess we're gonna use, like, when it drives out here, this road as a cutoff point, and then develop along the rail line on here. I think that'll be a nice separator. We'll smoothen out the terrain. Do not have any too steep hills, but we'll leave the hills as like they exist. I just think we need to get rid of all of the red terrain sections, otherwise there could be issues with the placement of the farms. But thankfully our bulldozers are really, really good at what they do. Oh yeah, and here's the stone segment where I thought I would place the farm, but I've decided against that. So there will be a little bit of a section that can't hold any farming. There's a few of those around, but that's okay. We're not gonna put fields on this side, I don't think, at least not with this farm. That'll be the task of the other farm. But yeah, this is basically what we've set up. I think I'm gonna get rid of this one though. I think this one we can do without. At least most of it. And we'll see what kind of fields we can place here. Now that we've basically demolished all of the trees. This is what we will end up with. A little bit of rock, but we'll see. Tunnel boring already done for the first one. Second one should receive the tunnel boring machine soon, and then when they work behind the signals, this rail line is gonna be completely unaffected by all of this. Just gotta... yeah, guys, just gotta finish the tunnel exit, and then we can build the rail line in between the entrance and exit. I would like to place some interesting fields, but that's going to be challenging. We can probably at least follow the road a little bit. Although I would like them to snap together. I don't know how it's gonna look. Let's test it. Yeah, that's okay. Could be better. Yeah, I think I'm gonna do a road setup first and then place the fields on that instead. I'll have to come off of the farm building. So basically a sharp turn here. And then there would be the road for the fields coming out this way. And it would basically make its way down here. Ideally, I would like it to travel down this way. And then define the farming area along this road with its own road, which is basically just going to follow this road. And then from here we are going to place the fields off of this road. And we might have to leave some room to get some auxiliary roads, because otherwise the farms are gonna intersect and it's gonna look a little bit ugly. So yeah, this is what we're going to do. This is a large capacity farm. There will be plenty of large fields, for sure. And then we'll reforest in between the fields a little bit to give it that look, so the middle areas don't look too stupid. Hello Mickey here, welcome. Hope you're having a good Thursday. And we'll have to develop some fields around a custom layout. We'll need another road. We will have to upgrade these roads to gravel. Just woke up, but so far it's been good. Got a pretty nice random map for my new run. Excellent. Getting a random map that seems like it'll make an excellent game is always nice to have. Right now I'm myself very particular about workshop maps, and since I'm spending a lot of time on them, I can get a lot of bang for my I can get a lot of bang for my buck on each map. There's a lot of good mappers. Oh, a lot of good maps. I don't actually know how many good mappers there are. Right now I'm mostly sticking all of these maps, default, very good, and the mapper from New Horizons, which name eludes me right now, but New Horizons was an excellent map. The older maps were also good, but I think New Horizons was the best one that I've so far played. New Horizons 2.0. Okay, tunnel boring machine, rail construction, everything in order. Road construction also ongoing. We sped it up with the dirt road. That is also okay. There will be a dirt road connection off of this, where the farming vehicles can get to the fields. fields will look messy, but I think once everything is in place and we have the trees down, I think it'll look very good. That is my hope. Just gotta be not too scared about the placement of things. I'm not planning on using a distribution office, so we will have to rely only on the farm itself. I wish the fine control would work a little bit better. I thought control was fine mouse wheel, but it doesn't seem to work for the fields. Anyway, no fear. Just placing fields right now. Some of the workshop maps are great. I love the Northern Paradise one that I played recently. Oh, okay. I will check it out. Take a look at it. Let me write it down. Northern Paradise. I also hope with the upcoming DLC that will add more maps. Tropical, snow, desert kind of things. Well, there you have 4 biomes, it looks like. You have desert, you have tropical, you have snow, and you have Germany. The most challenging of all biomes. I think Germany will just be a variation on things, but we'll see. I'm mostly excited about the snow map. That sounds challenging. Coal, more requirement for coal. Less crops. Crops might be really expensive, so maybe selling them will be better, or they will just be really hard to get, so it's not viable. I don't know. Sounds interesting. Love the snow one, yeah. Snow clearing services will become really, really important at that point, I guess. Man, kinda would be nice if... I guess if an issue resolves itself, the message would go away. Like if a fire gets extinguished, the building on fire message should go away. That could be useful. Also if a traffic jam for trains resolves itself. I don't know. Alright, got a bunch more room here. Farming all the way up to... I don't know how far. Didn't really plan to go too far this way, but we'll see. I should also upgrade these to gravel road for sure. Just to give our farming vehicles an extra bit of speed. We'll start with the field planning for now, get all of that set up. I think the road is done, so we can remove the dirt roads again. And hook up a gravel road instead. Yep, let's exit here that way. Pause that, combine it, and assign it. And get the farm built, please. Now for the gravel roads, I guess we could help build these by just hooking them up to the main road and getting them connected as well. one shall remain paused for now. Not sure how far we're gonna go. We'll probably cover most of it. Well, no, maybe this is already gonna be it because there's rocks and significantly hilly terrain here. I also have to flatten these areas out some to get some more fields in, which is gonna be tricky because these are quite tough stone, it looks like. So this won't be a field anyway here, so... But it'll have to be flattened out a little bit. I'll have to lay down some more fields. But we will be able to run crop exports throughout the year with one farm. And then the extra farms could probably become useful as soon as we start using them for production. If we have this hooked up with one running farm, then I believe we can make a lot of things here. And if there's any unemployment, I guess we could hook up something on this grain silo to produce something locally, but I don't think that's going to be necessary. I'll get another dirt road up. And assign these for construction too. Shouldn't take long to build this. Also shouldn't be too expensive. We have concrete, gravel and asphalt self-made. So we only really need to import steel and of course the bitumen and cement for the asphalt and concrete, but those things are being produced locally. Cement is not going to be a problem. We have that one stored by the kiloton. And then the asphalt we have a small container for of another 90 tons in addition to the 15 tons of internal storage. So we'll be able to build all of these with no problems, I would believe. Already up to 16,000 people. 1,500 people away again from another research. I think we are going to start with recycling biological waste. But I need to make it so that the biological waste can't run full. We will need a train unloading station, I think. I think we could have an industry here for turning the biological waste into fertilizer a little bit more quickly than normal. So we would drop biological waste into a local storage by train. I guess is by train the right way? Feels like. We don't really have a dedicated storage for biological waste. It's not really planned out. Alternatively, we could just import it until we've planned something. But I am particular to the idea of having a composting plant here. It does only have one import, but that would be connected to the rail line. And then the output would be a truck distributing it among all the buildings, or another rail yard storage. Because if we have too much, we might also have to get rid of it again. Iron price going up. Sounds okay. If it becomes worth exporting again, we will get on that right away. Right now we only have one train running, not much more. These grain silos are quite lengthy, 190 meters. If we plan for really long trains of 450, which I think is the maximum for the default game long rail depot, if we were to put a junction here, we would have the ability to have really long grain trains. And we could plan them out for the other customs house where we can send really long trains to. So that way, this is all reserved for an incoming train from this side. Not sure if the other side will be an incoming connection. I think this is going to be incoming and leaving, but this might just be leaving from this side. And we have to plan towards getting towards Snodov, which will have a train yard in front of it. That is going to be a bit lengthy. Can't flatten anything here. Like a train yard for long trains, but also a waiting area. I think I will have to get the vehicles closer so I can flatten something out with an appropriate look. We only really need a dirt road for that, but they should build this. So a dirt road to the customs house would be nice. I'm just gonna keep following the terrain a little bit. It'll give us the option to get the road construction or the terrain construction equipment in the area, and flatten out some section for the waiting area in front of the customs house. We have to wait for the road construction to finish up. Got a little section left that needs to be built, and it's being started. One delivery of gravel, one delivery of asphalt. Road construction equipment is nearby, so it shouldn't take too long. This area will not look nice until we get the trees planted, but I'll wait with the tree planting until everything is in place. So it will be looking a little bit sketchy for now, which is fine. The trees will make it come together quite nicely. Too much stones. Oh, this whole area is kind of cluttered in stones, it looks like. Well, let's see if we can fit that in here anyway. Maybe... no, still too much stones. There's one area where it would be fine, apparently. Right here. But I think we'll skip that. We'll have to work with some smaller fields, I think. Those stones, man. Not going to work. This might look okay. Then we'll skip this area and put a medium-sized field here, I think. And then we have another stone situation over here. This might be completely unusable. Hello, Shariashu. Welcome. Yeah, you think these stones are not going to be usable? Might as well have the road go over those then. Let's get some of the trees prepared. I will need to remove some of the side roads, but we can do that a little bit later. Hopefully this will end up looking quite nice. A little bit of some trees here. Still have to plan this out. I think there's probably just going to be a road connection. There might not be another field, we'll see. Let's let them grow up. See what it looks like. Grow grocer. I don't know what goods you were out of, but maybe food? Looks like food, yeah, most definitely food. Okay, food. Warehouse, grocer, how many vehicles? 2. Warehouse, grocer, grocer. You are Hellas North small store. Warehouse 3, grocer 3. There's also a lot of people shopping here right now. I guess they were walking here when the other grocer maybe didn't have enough food. Seems okay now, but let's keep an eye on it. Don't know if the food truck is line spacing enabled or not. Yeah, it's through a bus end station. So line spacing should be a thing. A little bit of unemployment here. Does the panorama restaurant also depend on height? Is there something we can do with this on a higher area? $2.5. 2.6. Maybe this building also depends on that, so we will have a panorama restaurant at the top of the hill, I guess. Interesting hidden game mechanisms. Pretty neat. Another shop out of goods and I accidentally clicked the wrong button. Let's keep an eye out on those messages and not accidentally remove them. Okay. Next message. That one. Grocer store 3. Again, we're out of meat. Okay, so the meat truck is also not able to keep up with the throughput anymore. We only have 1 and we have too many assignments, I guess. So I guess we're gonna just add a second one. Let it drive around in circles, although I think it's just it's like the amount of vehicles on the lines, it's not actually the capacity. But it's fine. We'll add a second one. Same vehicle make. It'll be fine. And then, since it's now 2 vehicles, we'll also go through an end station. Orphanage 2, and then travel back, but along this way into and through this bus end station, please. We'll wait with that road. I don't want to create too many intersections, but we might have to make a shortcut at some point because this corner is fine. It's 2 right-hand corners into the end station. That's a little bit steep. Let's see. Maybe one more field here, but I think this is going to be the end for this area. Feels no wider than before, it feels like. Okay. Guess we can also combine that one. Start building this. And add 1, maybe 2 more fields here. Let's add some medium fields on the outer side. Can have up to 3. And we'll wait with the road connection, I guess, until the lengthy road is actually done. Already got all the steel. Sure. Fit that in somewhere last month, I guess. Still need a bit of steel for the farm. And yeah, and we'll have our farm set up. Probably have to remove this again because I said I wanted to have a storage for fertilizer, but I guess we could also just add one on this side. Right now the fertilizer can just be stored inside. I don't really plan on producing some right now. We'll probably set up the composting plant. And Tabovina can probably take care of that. But we don't have any unemployment right now. And they need to make sure to have enough workers in the fire station. Because I think I will get another fire truck for our farms. So some more housing will be necessary, and then they will have to send those workers to the fire station anyway. We'll add 2 more houses. Let them get settled in. Let's do a quick check on maintenance. I have a bulldozer. 60% wear. But at 17 years, I guess that's okay. can only repair up back to 33. They will probably need to be moved to... Is our road done? Not quite. We'll have to relocate them back home to give them some repairs. I mean, the repair station over here should do that. All they would need is, I guess, the covered hull trucks and of course all the repair materials. We'll need one covered hull truck and one open one. That is a long haul. I didn't want to buy a long haul. I bought the wrong one. Yes, I meant to buy that one. You'll be loading steel from our construction material storage. And bringing it directly into the repair station, waiting until unloaded. That is the steel for the Tabovina repair station. And the other one will be the repair components, and I will just go back to another warehouse where I've already set those up and basically copy the percentages. There we go. Same setting, well, similar. $70. Should be 25, I think. And that should be 5%, probably, and then increase that to 50 to get the values. And now we can have one truck picking up the repair materials. By the way, I asked in regards to the advanced settings for the route, where we can set specifically which materials a vehicle can hold, and them losing their assignments on vehicle replacement. That is supposedly going to be fixed next update as well, which is great. So I guess running a node distribution office challenge at least had a little bit of a good side effect. Let's get the assignments as well. Those seem to be working fairly well. And send the truck out. Should now bring us our required repair materials towards Tabovina. And then they can repair the local vehicles, our road construction equipment especially. Well, road construction, our terraforming vehicles, before we start moving them out to get the rail setup in place. We'll have to flatten out some area and then move a train line through here, disregarding the dirt road. That is not going to play a factor. But mostly just a train depot setup. We still have to plan the second farm first. That one is not set up yet. We could go all western for trucks, which we will do. And harvester is a 38. We only have a 36 here. Still good. But tractor wise we have to rely on here. We're gonna start with, I think, 6 tractors, 8 harvesters, 4, 8, 12, 16, and 16 trucks, I guess. Since we have a decent number of large fields, I think the sowing speed is going to be the most important. Travel speed is not as urgent. Six tractors, and then Western vehicles. These ones are going to be particularly good, I think. 13 tons of crops. How much can the Eastern ones hold? Maybe we have to go for Eastern ones again. It's the same. 154,000 rubles versus 50,000 US dollars. I'm gonna stick with these. Eight harvesters, and we're gonna get the other ones a little bit later. The truck bringing fuel to the gas station over here seems to be struggling with the capacity, so let's add another stop to the farm. Actually, we could just have a dedicated vehicle for the farm. Let's get another vehicle bringing fuel to the farm itself. And then it could do a drive-by on the gas station, make sure fuel there is available first. But yeah, probably one truck per farm. Maybe a local fuel storage and then one truck running between all farms and having the gas station as a last task. A local fuel storage might be useful, but yeah, each additional farm we build will have a very high demand on fuel, I guess. I also need to name the vehicle line for the repair station components again. We'll try with a dedicated route for now. And see if we need to make a change, because fuel consumption is pretty high right now, but that might be due to all of the construction equipment going through the area. No vehicle has run out of fuel yet. Get our components set up for the repair station. We have components inside, we have trucks, and we're getting our terraforming vehicles repaired right now. This gas station is obsolete since we have a proper one now, and I guess this was upgraded by mistake, as was this road. So they will take a little bit of time to get demolished, I guess. Especially since they're out of range for the demolition office and we have to go over and manually grab it. 81%. Recently repaired, 44 years. Probably time to get replaced. I wanted the demolition office. Yeah, all the vehicles have been assigned. Medium repair station is probably the right choice for this area, especially with all of the farm vehicles. No repair cancel, don't forget about that. I want everything to be repaired as much as possible. Okay, just waiting on more concrete for the grain silo, and then that should also be ready. And then all we have to wait for is the train line, which the tunnel boring machines and the rail construction vehicles are doing an excellent job on getting through here. Alright. Get a basic farming area set up for next year. We could bring some fertilizer over from a customs house, I guess. As I said, a train-based delivery system with a connection to a composting plant or two for Tabovina to handle is something we could think about doing, but maybe we'll just have a delivery point for dropping off fertilizer by itself. And then the trucks would pick it up and deliver it into the farms, each farm getting one truck basically, running back and forth to the storage. I don't think fertilizer makes any pollution, so we would just drop a stop with a claw machine in this area and have one train always bringing the biological waste. But that would require us setting up the recycling in our cities and having another waste dump just for biological waste. We need to filter biological waste at the source, otherwise it's lost. Once it's inside other trash, people don't pick it out. Need to compost early. And yeah, if we do that, driving it by truck all the way to Tabovina won't be an option. At least not in my book. I think a train-based solution would be the best. So another waste storage with the change that biological waste will happen in probably the same, if not more, frequency than the rest of the waste. It would reduce the waste going into this storage quite a bit. There's 10% biological waste in here, but it is also rotting away a little bit. I'm not sure, it shouldn't turn into fertilizer in here. Why are we not picking up any of the hazardous waste though? Where is the train? Because you're only told to load, well, that's the garbage truck. You're told to load anything. And your wagons are set up to have one wagon explicitly for hazardous waste. And yet you don't seem to be loading it. I think I'm gonna set it up. Oh no, we have set it up. Load anything. I think we're gonna set that up as load hazardous waste as much as possible, and then load the mixed waste, because I think it might still be doing something weird with the train cars. We'll verify. Running full on hazardous waste is not something I would like to experience right now. Oh god, that tunnel entrance. Oh well. Did not notice that it was that wonky. Let's see if we get... There's something in here. There's mixed... Wait. Oh, I think I know what the issue is. I think there's mixed waste in there and it's not unloading it, because it's reserved for hazardous waste now. We'll set you up to wait until loaded on hazardous waste. I guess let's do something different. Let's not set this to wait until loaded, but instead we'll change the train cars. We'll make the first train car hazardous waste only, and set the last one as mixed waste again. Oh. Cannot set while another source is loaded in vehicle. Reset. What do we have loaded? I don't know. Presumably mixed waste. We'll reset all train cars. Well, it might load hazardous waste into all of them now. I think it's doing that right now. but if it's loading everything, it'll be fine by me. Yeah, sure. Load everything. If you can put anything in any wagon anyway, and you just mix it all together into hazardous waste, then that's fine. We now have hazardous waste which is being diluted by mixed waste. So we'll leave it like that, and it should be able to sell everything, I hope. Cool. Just mix the waste inside the train. Harvesters already. Got 8 harvesters, 6 tractors, and 4, 8, 12, 16 trucks. Is that okay? Or should I get 2 more tractors? Being done early with sowing is an advantage, but having more trucks for longer travel distances is also very important. I think I'm going to stick with the trucks. And we'll basically have this as the test bed to see how much we can handle with our farm, and if it's not enough, we'll just basically adjust the vehicles so it works. And then we know for our next farm, which is going to be actually pretty close, right here. And we'll have the train line going past it from this. The problem with mixing waste in a train is that you're paying more for the mixed waste part if you are exporting. I don't think that's true. If you're importing hazardous waste, you're not paying for pure hazardous waste. Like, you're getting money. You're not getting money for pure hazardous waste. It should dilute it. Like, the waste is like its own thing, made up of components. We could check that if we had some more hazardous waste here. I mean, right now we have, let's say, 40 tons of hazardous waste. If we calculate 40 tons of hazardous waste, that would be 12,000. Let's say 14,000 US dollars. Is that right? 14,000 plus we have another 21 tons of mixed waste. Or I guess it's not, mixed waste is made up of different components. I don't know what is in our mixed waste here. If that were the case, what could you do with that knowledge? I don't think it is true, but I haven't tested it. Like, I mean, we can test it probably. We just need a free waste dump, and then we dump 2 types of waste in it. It's easy to do. So we would expect that if we count the waste for each resource, that when we combine it we get the same amount listed in the vehicle. Just get a cheap truck. We'll get a free dump. No, we're not free dump. Well, free dump, I guess we will have to basically, with a dump we will have to quickly check because the waste is going to deteriorate and that could reduce the value a bit. If you're exporting mixed waste, that is mostly construction waste, you're still paying for exporting it, even though exporting construction waste you should earn money. I mean, we can test that too. We can combine construction waste with mixed waste. We can do that. Load construction waste. We'll get 1 load of construction waste. We'll check the value. That's $60. And then we're gonna get 1 load of mixed waste. So $60. This doesn't deteriorate. And this is $6 reduction. So 54 should be the value divided by 2 because we're gonna have 2 truckloads. So we're gonna tell you to now remove that whole stuff. Load anything. And during that time, some of it might rot away. Since the money is going down, you're correct. The money wouldn't be going down if it is mostly construction waste. So waste separation does actually earn you more money. And I don't know what the calculation is. But if you're right, then mixing mixed waste with hazardous waste will have a negative connotation, I guess. So I might be better off trying to keep it separated. Yeah. Or is it... wait. No, the price went up again while it's loading. Now it's going up. Now the value is going up. We'll see. I'm getting $1 right now for like a third of a truckload. I guess it was loading a bunch of mixed waste, and now I guess we can check. It's mostly construction waste, yeah. There's also some ash in here from the mixed waste. But yeah, each truckload should give us 26, 28, 27 US dollars if it was separated. So waste separation actually earns your money, I guess. Does that mean you can make a profit importing mixed waste and separating it and exporting it? If yes, that would be interesting. I mean, in the future for us it won't matter, because whatever mixed waste and hazardous waste I pick up I will throw into the incinerator. I will do either waste separation at the source or waste separation inside the incinerator. I guess we'll have to wait for the 2 runs of the waste pickup to run through, because I'm not sure why the money changed so drastically. From -1 to it's suddenly going up. Now it's mostly construction waste, some other waste and metal scrap. A bunch of it has already rotted away because we brought in 2 times 6.5, so we're already down a ton of waste that rotted away on its own. Does the same apply? I guess we could test it with, we could throw together construction waste and metal scrap, both which are making money, and nothing of those would rot away. I'm curious now that you've mentioned it. I'm curious if it would be a viable strategy importing mixed waste, recycling it and exporting. Basically running waste separation as your industry of choice. Fortunately it needs a technical office, so it's not going to be very useful in a low-tech run as a first industry, but I guess a low-tech run could start with a incinerator instead. Actually, correct, it does calculate the price on the composition of the mixed waste. So, I guess the value should have been the export price of the loaded material. We're not getting back to 50-ish, right? But it's close. It's like 40, 30, 35, 40 maybe. I already forgot the first value. I think it was 15 or 20. Should be about right. Okay, then we could do one more test with hazardous waste. But yeah, with the dump it's not that easy to test, I guess. I guess we could see what happens if we load in some... Okay, that's hazardous waste. If we load in some mixed waste. which will probably take a while until one vehicle goes here, and I don't really want to wait that long. But yeah, interesting. Then I guess waste separation might not be profitable. Yeah, we're around 15, 20-ish US dollars again. And we were thinking about getting 54 out, and some of it rotted away, but that was basically mixed waste, which should have actually increased the value. But yeah, doesn't look like that is the case. Oh well. Thank you for that test, Mr. Vehicle. We're gonna go to the scrapyard now, giving us plenty of new fresh materials. Tunnel construction more than halfway done. Currently building the exit. Then the rail line, and then the last section of tunnel. And the last bit of rail line. With the grain silo and the farm already prepared for the first harvest in 2009. Well, first sowing and then harvesting, I guess. Yeah, it seems it doesn't matter if the hazardous and get mixed in the train. The composition of the waste is important for the price when exporting. Okay, so it does actually count individual segments, not that you mixed like 1% of hazardous waste into 99% of mixed waste and then turned everything into hazardous waste. That could have been very problematic. Maybe there's a little bit of a price increase because you basically dumped a bunch of quicksilver into compost, and while a little bit of quicksilver might be a bit expensive to get rid of, if it's already distributed inside a bunch of other materials, it might be more difficult. So there might be some sense to it. Looks like the trucks are pushing the coal into the heating plant, so that works. We don't need a conveyor in between if we deliver it directly to the aggregate storage. But if we deliver by train on a train unloading station into the storage, then it wouldn't move through. So for the Hellas heating plants it did make sense, but for local, we can just have an aggregate storage directly connected if the trucks go into the aggregate storage itself. Road clearing services, pretty good. We have too much money. We need to turn the money into population. It looks like with 65% loyalty requirement we can still keep our radio station filled. So that's fine. That is plenty. We're now 1,000 citizens away from another research point, and I still have 2 spare ones. I guess we'll have to try and retrofit a recycling of like biological waste into our Hellas area. And then move the biological waste. I guess we can do it like similar to the to this waste setup. I mean, we can basically set up the unloading of biological waste into this anyway, and then pick it up from here. But I don't really have a train station set up. And up here we only have a dump, so it's either mixed waste or something else. We could drop biological waste in here, but then it becomes mixed waste again. Or we could have another attachment, similar to the hazardous waste, where we basically have an outside container hooked up to this for the biological waste. Could we add another biological waste connection here? I think that would be too small. I think it's the right idea, but such a small container wouldn't really work. We'll try and set up the recycling, I think, with our existing waste storage, and then probably have a truck route along our highway, bring it to the farm area, into a local dump, connected to a... oh, it should be on the train line. Man, I need to plan it out with a train line. There's gonna be 3 farms here. They can't be supplied by truck, it's too much. That road has been built. Composting plant on this side. I don't think it makes much pollution, does it? It does make a fair bit of pollution, but there's nothing else polluting here except the heating plant. Life expectancy right now is good. I do not want to have any buses in this area. Either it's in walking distance or it isn't here. Maybe we'll have a composting plant. We need another settlement for the composting plant. And we need a way to get the biological waste out of Hellas. I mean, we have a road connection through this, but it doesn't feel right or sensible to put the biological waste in here. Maybe with the planned rail connection we could actually bring a rail line all the way to this area and then put the waste loading from Hellas into a recycled area on this side. So we could have the recycling be done locally inside the town, and then we have dedicated storages on the outskirts of town. Before I do that, let me tell my terraforming vehicles here to relocate themselves here. And we'll get rid of that section of road with the demolition office. We'll also disconnect all of that, so the farming vehicles will have to stay on the gravel roads. Which isn't ideal for the trucks, maybe? So there might be a change where we have a gravel road going to the outside, but I don't want all of the junctions to be that way. Maybe there's going to be one here that goes out and they can drive through town, but realistically I would like them to stay on the gravel road. That is what I want. So the idea here is to set up a composting plant. If we can compost the waste directly at the source, that would be nice. But having it next to town, I guess we have like avoided most pollution in this area anyway. So one composting plant, how much damage could it do? If we have a steady supply in the composting plant, we could directly drop all biological waste into the composting plant. And if we don't exceed the the production limit, which would be 30 tons of biological waste a day, we'd be fine. Yeah, it might be best. Actually, yeah, if we're moving it by truck anyway, I guess it doesn't matter that much. But we could, in theory, have the composting plant hook up to a storage, an open storage with a rail connection for bringing in trains here and picking up fertilizer. And then we might need an external storage just so we have the ability to deal with like excess throughput, where we have the biological waste not delivered directly to the composting plant, but instead another storage from which 1 or 2 vehicles will drive it to the composting plant, just to deal with some overflow if it runs into too many resources, I guess. We would need chemicals, which we have, and that's about it. And then just worry about the pollution. 25 workers would be in walking distance here. There's gonna be more housing in this area at some point. But I think the town would basically end here, and then we need a rail connection. So the train might actually come through here with a tunnel, go out this way, and then the question is how we get through this. I guess I wanted to have a rail connection towards Colata, which is this one. I wanted this one to go around the lake and then come through here. So I might just have to go into the mountain again and then connect out here. This is too much. I guess we could have the loop come around here and then connect through this mountain, but that would increase travel distance, but I guess for fertilizer it's fine. I'm just worried of running full on fertilizer because the farms are going to have a specific demand, and if we transport the fertilizer to the farm and then excess fertilizer to the customs house, would that be fine? I mean, waste recycling will have to be set up precisely. Since we don't have distribution offices, it could be dangerous. Delivery wise, it would be a dump with a claw machine. Maybe more than one. Could also have a dump with a claw machine and then attach some more dumps to it to extend the capacity. 450 tons of fertilizer sounds like quite a lot, but I guess we would need that per farm probably. And I guess we could just hook it up here. The only worrying thing here is the road connection, but we have an access point in this area, and if it does burn down, if the fire truck can't get here fast enough around the farm building, it's just gonna be the fertilizer that burns down, I guess. We'll have to wait for the bulldozers and excavators to finish their rail yard construction next to Snowdorf Customs, which I will rename so we know we have business there. Hopefully they're not going to go off and refuel. Nope, they're fine. Well, fine in the sense that I didn't bring fuel here because I didn't think I would need to. we're planning for trains that are 450 meters long. So the rail yard in the area will have to be a little bit longer than normal. And then we will have to make some waiting platforms because the 450 meter trains might not be the only ones heading to the area. But we're going to route them through a dedicated storage area, so they only occupy, I think, at most 1 or 2 lanes of the customs house. The customs house itself is 115 meters long. Let's say 100, so we need a train line of 350 meters. And we're only at 290 here. Need to get some more range. We don't need this to be perfectly flat, but for the customs house entrance, I think having a little bit of a flat area in front is going to be nice. And then we can take off some of that hill here and flatten down this section where the train line is going to come through, I believe. That's too close anyway. Okay, I mean 350 meters would be about that long. Train route out that way from the same customs house would be questionable. I think Tabovina is going to be the central area where this custom house connects to, and any train line will have to run through there, so there's not going to be a train line towards this area, I believe. But road definitely could be a thing. $250 more meters. So that would be the desired length for just parked trains in the area. Did I also abide by that for the farming area? I think I did. Yeah, I think that is 450 meters, I made sure. So when the trains come out, but probably from this side, it will have to run all the way over here. And we need a waiting yard. The leftmost lane is not going to be connected to that waiting yard. The rightmost 2 lanes can be used by that. So we will always have one area free that normal trains can go through, but the main purpose of this customs house is going to be volume for very long trains. So the waiting yard would hook up into this here somewhere, and then we would need a dedicated connection behind that, in front of that, for this. So a train coming inside into this area from outside the waiting yard could join any lane through this, but a train coming in through this area will only be able to go into all the other areas. And these need to be just as long. So the waiting yard would just be a collection of train platforms to the right to maybe allow for 3-4 trains to wait here to load and unload. And make sure the leftmost lane doesn't get blocked with them. Similar to our iron ore trains, except it's at the customs house now as well. And for Tabovina we will have to be on the left side of the dirt road, so we'll have to come across here. The road is definitely not permanent. And through this area we will pick a path. There's going to be another farm here and one farm here which might travel along out this way. And then this farm and this farm have a connection around this way. Looks like we'll have to move the bulldozers and terraform equipment back and get those rail lines in place. And we'll prepare all of this area before we start moving them again. This is where the train's going to come across, and our terraforming does not reach any further. Okay, gas station is over here, so we're just gonna move them next to the repair station if we can. Or, I guess behind the power line also works. And hopefully that'll be in range. I don't really need a road connection to that customs house, but it was useful buying the equipment a little bit closer. Why were you plowing mud roads? Please don't plow mud roads, thank you. I think we will have to set up a storage here. Maintenance and building repair might become overloaded with resource delivery. It's taking a little bit too long, but we'll see. The rail line will come through here, along approximately this road section, and then go past this area here. But we will have to plan out the other farm first, which will be on this stone area. So we'll have to flatten that, get the road connection in, get the grain silo to be facing this way and the farm this way, and the rail lines will go. I guess this is going to be a little bit tricky because I wanted to plan 450 meters out this way, but I don't know if I want to have 4 parallel train lines going over the road. There's the farm here and the grain silo here, and then have, yeah, I mean, we can't find a solution. The fields don't, there could be fields on either side of the rail line, that's fine. Also this bend makes it so that a rail line going this way makes a lot more sense. Okay. This area is defined for incoming train lines. The waiting platform only needs to connect to here. Preferably not directly into the signal. And then we have another 450 meters waiting platform in the area. For a few trains. Can be expanded in the future if we really need more. Hopefully we don't. Hopefully long enough. Don't actually know. I guess we can see when the construction gets started how long it actually is. Let's remove that first. Get this switch in. Get this one connected. So the length of the train would be about that long, up to this one. This is the shortest section, which is... doesn't tell us. I thought it would tell the length, but I guess we'll do a manual measurement. Approximating. That's only 420 meters, so we'll need to extend this out a little bit. $420 is 88, so we need to add another 30 meters, putting us at 117. Unless my math is off. A little bit longer, but yeah, that's about right. Incoming train line here. Probably to the middle line. And we'll just hook these ones up to that. So we can have 3 long trains waiting here. We can load 2 long trains. Currently 5 trains planned that way. And if we need another waiting platform, then it's gonna be a little bit ugly. Because while it's easy to hook them up this way, we would need to hook them up into probably this, which could be a problem. But I guess we worry about that when we get to it, because usually my train yards aren't that busy. And with these long trains there might not be any problems anyway, but you never know. We could build an alternate waiting platform and then hook them up to the existing lines. Or I could just plan it right now. Make it expandable in the future. I don't care that much. Wow, that's like perfect. I don't want to make bridges or anything for the train line. I just want them to run a 450 meter long train across the road, blocking any fire trucks or anything that could happen. So they shouldn't really wait here. They should always be either parked inside the grain storages or at the customs house. And yeah, we'll have to wait how we hook these up. General concept stands. Implementation to this area will have to wait until we set up the second one, or at least plan it, which I guess we could do right now. I'm not really getting any warning messages, which is quite nice. So I said that the farm would be on the hilly area here. By hilly I mean the rock surface. So it's elevated a little bit more than the other farm, it looks like. But we can bring the elevation down by at least one level. Or half a level. Almost nailed it. The road would come through here and hook up into this area, I think. And the grain silo would be on this side, which will make it a little bit tough in regards to hooking it up. I don't want to build them like this way again, because that's not the way of the rail line. I'll move out a little bit. Then we have to find a path for the road connection here. Also make the terrain look acceptable. And then the grain silo, which will need a decent amount of space here. Where all of this hill is going to get in the way. I might have to get a larger fleet of vehicles. Other options include hooking up the grain silo sideways, I guess. Just like this. Which would be possible. I do like the idea of having it in this area instead. Somewhere here. And this rail line would come through this area, double tracked, and the other rail line would hook up into this grain silo. And then the question of the roundabout is going to come back. The rail roundabout with 450 meter long trains, bit of a problem. Probably easier to flatten if we can place the grain silo partially. But we have to work a little bit more for that. I might just have to get like a fleet of bulldozers here again. Get this to work. This is like the most difficult farm because it's, well, removing a lot of hill. We can maybe go one step higher, and then the factory connection would still work, I believe. So we don't have to flatten all of it to that lower level. But I don't know. This is a little... oh, there we go. Factory connection might suffer, but we'll see. This will definitely speed up the flattening process. And we have to be careful about the rail line connections, of course. That they have enough room to be made. Okay, now we need 450 meter long trains out of this, although the grain silo has a decent length itself, 190 meters. So we need 260 meters extra. So distance-wise, this is not going to be a problem. A silo doesn't need to go to another silo in this area, so a straight line through here without any other junction will work fine. And then if we put the lane selection approximately here, each long train can also decide where to go. Then the outcoming train lines will have to combine again this way, and we will have another farm here that also needs to go this way. And all of these train lines will need to come around to loop back to the other area at some point, or into a different area. We'll worry about that later. The main problem right now is this rail line. Very steep section of rail line here, but can't really be helped. Don't want to build a tunnel. I mean, we could put a cut here. I think a cut might work. We also have to cut through this hill. Let's get some cuts in place. Cuts being a section of track where you go through, well, the hill basically. Will be a cut. This could be a cut, but I'll leave the rolling hill here. And our waiting platform into the rail yard is already set up. And the other cut is from here, I think. We need to take off more of the hill itself. Okay, the area next to the road is temporary. We could remove the road right now, but I'll leave it. Maybe it'll become permanent? I don't know. Probably not. A little bit steep on that side, but otherwise fairly good. Gotta be careful. Autosave, clicking with the bulldozer tool, not that great. Okay, let's get rid of that hill. And don't flatten on top of. Damn you, game. Now we have some terrain sticking on top of the train tracks. Unacceptable. I can't deal with that. This is also not smooth yet, so I'm just going to take the silo off and rebuild this. We'll have to move the hill back a little bit so it doesn't spill out on top of the area. This is quite a steep hill, so it would spill pretty far when we do any terrain work on it. Maybe I should have the silo here then. I mean, this was like pretty much the location, except I moved it out a little bit further. That seems okay. That one will need some work. Sure. Seems okay now. And then we have to connect the other train line into this after 450 meters of length. About here. Get our junction in, please. Then the road needs to be moved. And this rail line will go through here, in between this area. We'll need a cut out here. And we'll follow the terrain a little bit. And yeah, this will cut over the road this way to these farms. But that's okay. There's a potential for a traffic jam in this area, I guess. And it's a little bit of a steep section of for the road traffic. I'll have to do. And then the rail lines will continue on until past the farm, where they will hook up in here. And they will also need to be at least 450 meters long. Looks like after the road. We have to be precise here, because if they are 450 meters long and waiting on the road, then that's not going to be okay. So actually, gotta do a little bit more measurement here. Seems like it would be fine. It's hard to say. I mean, let's do something else. Let's draw another train track from here to. Let's draw it from here to here. Then snap into this. How long was this right now? 190 meters. Plus 260. That's 450. That would be excessively close. But if it would fit exactly, that would be perfect. I guess we will have to try and park a train here and see if it works. We'll plan it. If something goes wrong, then I guess we can relocate the road a little bit out and move the signals. We'll give this a little bit of extra space. I guess I could make a wobble here with the road. I like wobbles. Something like that. We have a little bit of extra space. Hopefully that's enough. And then trains are not allowed to wait on the yellow area. Only the light blue / blue ones. Yellow turns into orange when it's done. So I would like to not have trains waiting on those platforms. Also a path for the fire trucks. Oh, yes, traffic jams, very good. Getting warnings about traffic jams is what is exciting. Because sometimes you lose 7,500 of your 12,500 population. Almost done with one tunnel. Other tunnel is being bored right now. And then they can start developing down this way. And the last farm will have to be here. We'll have to get rid of this road because that one's just going to go to the farm. And then all of this road is gone away. And we can just worry about the train tracks hooking together. So for this side, we're already done with the length on here. But we have to hook everything up behind this basically. Because that's how long these trains are. We have incoming trains, we have trains that leave. And that should be the approximate connection in the area for the other two farms, I believe. We'll probably remove them and flatten down the terrain again. Let's definitely get rid of the road for now, while we work in this area. I'm not gonna build or place the third farm yet, but I'm gonna make sure everything is accounted for, mostly. It's good to know that the average height tool is very good at flattening things that are already covered by equipment, or like buildings. This makes this a little bit easier. Yeah, seems to be a really good tool for train track averaging. And then just flatten it out. You might have to take off a little bit of this to also get it to abide by all of this. Because these tools do not like working next to existing infrastructure. And then yeah, just one more farm here, hooking up into this rail line, but we gotta be a little bit careful with the length of the tracks, so we probably have to go in parallel to this until we've reached the length that we need, and then we can connect into it. Farms are being sown, so we should get a nice harvest this year. Not a very large one, but the train lines aren't connected yet, so this is all still experimental. It's not assigned to all of the fields. Let's make sure the search radius is 3 kilometers, and let's make sure we build the remaining roads here, those that we have queued up. These ones are also not assigned. I wonder why. The road connection is definitely there. Maybe they'll get to it once they... yeah. They'll probably assign themselves all farms over time. Rail construction vehicle waiting on, I guess, the other one, which is not correct, so I need to place some signals here. And then there's a lengthy train line this way. I don't have a train line going through here just to go through. Currently this is all hooked up to one farm or another. So I also need another train line that just runs in parallel of some existing track. Basically this one. And I guess we're gonna have a 4 wide situation for train tracks here. Unfortunately. Thought I had cancelled before. So that would allow the trains to run through this area if they really needed to go to the customs house. However, I will change this rail connection because I don't like it. Come on. I really don't want to. This is the furthest you're willing to go, I guess. Then we'll do this one again. So we have the option of running 450-meter long trains directly to the customs house, bypassing any grain silo storage, just in case we have 2 trains waiting there, which might happen. 2 trains per grain silo, blocking basically the grain silo for any running through train. Downside of this is, well, we have a little bit of rail line to cross, which could cause traffic jams here. But hopefully not. I think I've set it up in a way where that shouldn't be an issue. Did we fix the rail construction topic? Can't tell. I mean, the trains are moving again, but I couldn't see if we had 2 construction trains at the same time. Oh yes, we do. They are both here. I just missed them. So that the signals are working. We can have 2 construction trains again in parallel. We will need some more signals for construction here. This area will have to be cleaned up signal-wise at some point. Right now that's not the time, I guess. Okay, get all of that built, I guess. Two farms for now. Second farm, no real field assignments. I guess we can wait with the farm buildings. Those ones will basically need to be developed when we have actual demand. And the tractors, harvesters and trucks will have to go across the train tracks to get to the sowing and harvesting area. There's a hill here, there's more area over here that they can travel to if they want to. We do have the factory connection in place, they will have to travel around. I would like to flatten the hill, but I feel like it will probably collapse onto the farm. No? No? Okay, we're good. Never mind, we're fine. This hill is a little bit steep. It's not going to be a road going up here, but still would like it to look not like it's going to fall over our grain silo at some point. That'll do. And yeah, it's probably time to get another... Think about getting another fire station. 2 fire trucks seem like they should be enough. We definitely need more people here. Make sure that the fire station is crewed very well. This rail construction office has been burning at least 4 times, I think. How did the lumber profits go? What's the price of boards? Well, we're at 500 US dollars now. I didn't build any more oil fields. We checked the last 10 years. There was a spike almost up to 800 US dollars. We're back down to 500. That's ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. It's like brown gold. It's so much money. If you painted these gold color and sold them as fake gold, they would be worth less than that they are right now. Which is not true, but it's funny to think about. We're over 200,000 US dollars now per train load for lumber. Just crazy. Okay. Interesting, but not that great. Maybe I should restrict myself to only one end station stop. Let's do that. One end station stop will be enough. I thought stopping twice on the same route would be fine. But apparently we can get into traffic issues. Maybe too much of a bend here. Could probably bring that back, but they're 450 meter long trains. They're supposed to run full speed, so I'm gonna give them the space to do that, even though it's not really necessary for the gameplay to work that way. Still like it. Still haven't sown all fields, but we're getting there. There's a little section of rock here, but I guess it's fine. Need to fill all of this area out with fields. And then do the same for this farm in this area, along the hillside. It's gonna be a bit messy, but I think it'll look okay once everything is covered. We just have to connect the the rail lines, and find a use for the crops first. Basically, we need to connect all the way to the customs house so we can sell it, because I do plan to use 450-meter long trains right away. And it'll be a little bit of a chore to get them assembled, maybe. Also, we might have to take into consideration engine power. Which is where our rural trains come in. They don't have the speed, but they have a lot more engine power. 2,900 kilowatts. Don't know why this one is here, but we have 4,500 here. Something weird with the sorting. Yeah, engine. I guess it's sorting by engine, not by engine power. Let's sort by value. The 4,500 one going 95 kilometers an hour is probably going to be our best bet for crops, because with the other ones we're probably not going to get towards the top speed. And the other thing I should also plan is maybe a refueling point over here, because they're basically only traveling back and forth in this area. A train diesel station for 450-meter long trains. We don't have a rail distribution office, that's the only way we can basically do that. Probably on this side. Once we have the other grain storage in place. Maybe on this side with a connection over here and this way. A refueling station 450 meters long. That would work quite well. In the field area, where we, I guess, could supply it by road. Make this an asphalt road. Go this way, and then up here have the refueling station with a substation, and then we would connect that to the rail line, which is what we need. I think right now they can just refuel in the warehouses area. It would be in range, but I wouldn't be opposed to give them a dedicated refueling point. Probably remove that hill, get the trains through here. Have the train diesel station on this hill. Asphalt road comes up here. Down this way. And then we flatten the area a little bit. Or not flatten, but smoothen out the terrain to accommodate such a road. It's gonna be a little bit uphill, but I don't want the trains to run all the way downhill there. We need to remove this one. And get the rail line hooked up. Yet again. 450 meters, no problem. Let's flatten out this terrain. Be a nice clean bend as a refueling point, and then yes, there might be trains coming from this side, but the majority of trains will come from this point. And that means we need more signals, because it's another junction. This area is not really designed for 450-meter long trains, but at some point they will have to travel through our rail network and cause chaos. I will have to specifically make sure that 450-meter long trains do not cause chaos. But that is something for the future. They would go to specifically built industrial areas that can hold those trains. And we have to make sure that the train lines can actually can accommodate those. Okay, that would be our refueling point for the trains. All 3 farms, basically. The rest will be developed into fields in here, some around this side, and then this farm will go all the way here, and the other farm will take some of this area. Although there's a few rocky areas, we'll probably find a decent amount of area where we can place fields. I do wonder if I should build a larger or an additional fire station. These farms are not cheap. Looks like we also have 520 21-year-olds that would like to move into a building. And Tabovina currently doesn't allow anyone to move in, so let's drop in some people. Although we don't have the room for all of them. It's probably time to get another fire station, I would say. Yeah, let's get another fire station. We have one for this farm and this farm, and then there's going to be one over here dealing with this farm and also this farm. A little bit of overlap. A little bit of redundancy. No heating necessary. Just water, sewage and electricity, and even the electricity is not really required because they refuel at the shared gas station between all buildings. And now that we have way fewer construction vehicles, things are looking much better in the gas station as well. I think the one extra fire station will be enough. We should have enough housing for what we wanted to accomplish in this area. We'll have to wait for these to get settled in and find employment in our fire stations, but it should probably be enough. And if it isn't, we can build 2, 4 or even more housing. I want like 15 workers per fire station on average for the 2 trucks. More than 15 at least. They just have to find a way to settle themselves into the rhythm of going to different shifts than the other people. It's going to be a little bit more difficult without a bus stop, where you can wait a little bit before a shift might open up. So the wooden storage here is not full. The logging camps are working fine. There's not multiple trucks piled up, so one truck seems to be okay. And this one I guess has a little bit of an extra distance, so it takes a little bit longer. I'm tempted to relocate the road cargo station, and I think I will do that. Closer to this area. Asphalt road. Doesn't block the outgoing road out of the other resource storage. We'll get that one set up as a replacement for this one. Then we'll have to relocate the vehicles. And once we remove this road and the road cargo station, we can upgrade this one to be asphalt as well, to allow the vehicles to exit a little bit faster. And we're also moving the storage closer to this one. Although it seems like in general we're having some transportation issues here. Yeah, we'll see. Optimizing it a little bit. Maybe it'll help. We'll see. Definitely like this design a little bit more, where it's separated. The road cargo station is not... We're not sharing this road with the road cargo station. Seems to be working a little bit better. Are we loading waste correctly still from Klipryusk? Hazardous and or mixed waste? It's 50-50 now. It's still only 23,000, so seems to be fine. It's not counting the hazardous waste as a combining of all of the other wastes. Although it's not loading anymore right now, because we're waiting to load the mixed waste. I guess that means I could technically probably only wait for one type of resource. Just load whatever is here. Or does that not work? I'll stick with the previous setting that was definitely working. We're full of messing things up right now, so we'll wait until we received another few deliveries of mixed waste, and then when we get back we can load the hazardous waste that has started piling up. Still have barely developed any way into the map. There's so much room. But I mean, our farm is going pretty far from our starting position. It's only one direction, it's not diagonal. The river is guiding us a little bit. If we were to deliver this way, it would look pretty impressive. And we'd be closer towards getting an EDK. I think I'm feeling the EDK right now. I think I'm gonna go over to Brelov, I think it was. No. Staralenia. And we're gonna build a fire station, a rail construction office, and just start building train tracks all the way to our rail network. So this area is basically just going to be a rail construction office with a fire station. We're even going to build a very large rail construction office. Just because. And we'll probably plan out the areas so that we can have the loading unloading be set up correctly already. I'm not sure this needs to be 450 meters long. But why not? Well, because it takes extra space. We had 110 meters, so 200, wait, 110? So 340 meters extra. Now I wonder if I've set up the other customs house correctly. Because I do need an exit lane that way. Let me go and look. I don't remember if I set that up correctly. Or if I missed a section of train track. Yep, I forgot one. This one. So we have the incoming lane before this, and then the outgoing lane. We also need that one. Scrolling over the map, it's ridiculous. Well, lots of room to develop. We will follow the river somewhat. We don't have any terraforming tools, so we will have to use what we find. Then we'll have to set up bridges and all that. So we'll get to the river here, try and follow it as best as possible, I think. And then at some point we'll have to cut across to find an area to go further. And I guess we could also start building the rail line from the other side. But yeah, I think the river is going to be the rail line. I think that'll look plenty nice. So before I start building that, let me set up the rail construction office and get it up and running, because it could already start building. We're going to use the large rail construction office because of the larger internal storages, since I wanted to get an EDK right away. Unfortunately, I can't really flatten in this area, so I guess we'll start building down here. No, we're not going to do that. We're just gonna set it up perpendicular. This will get torn down as soon as we reach our other area. We will need some free construction offices and get everything set up. Don't think we will need a lot of them. I don't even think we will need asphalt or gravel roads for them. Assign all the materials and workers. We will also need a refueling station, which we will handle manually, because we can't have a distribution office. That means I need a free road depot. Get an oil tanker. They're so expensive. That's not the color you were showing. Go here, and back. Then a bus for construction, a concrete mixer, a covered hull truck, a dump truck, Then we'll switch. Open haul truck. We'll probably get tower crane with the open haul truck. Don't need a paver or roller. I guess we could also just get an expensive road crane. I do like this one. Looks pretty neat. Guess we can get everything set up with 2 construction offices. It'll take a little bit. Also, get my train tracks above the ground, please. There we go. We will probably not have any signals and let the construction vehicles do their thing. But yeah, fire station and rail construction office is what we need. I bought all of this so I could have an excavator, which I didn't buy yet. Road excavator, please. And we could be really stingy and just develop it right here. I'm just gonna use the internal storage. Yeah, sure. Just have it right here. The free rail construction office, a smaller rail construction office would also work. But this way, if I have to do demolition, everything is already integrated and I don't have to worry about it. We will have to get the rail construction vehicle into the rail construction office at some point. But that's for later. And now we have to find a smooth way to get down to this area. I guess we're also gonna get a bulldozer. We can at least smoothen out the terrain to get to the... I would like to have a cut here to get to that area. I think the cut would work with just an excavator. Let the excavator do the groundwork, I guess. Resource deliveries are going to take a while. And we can set up the rest of the rail line later. And let's not forget the fire station so the whole thing doesn't burn down. Increase the priority, finish that one first. We're going to move the excavator back so it actually goes to the other construction site, hopefully. I would like to pause that one. It's not going to go to the other one just yet, but now it will have to. We'll finish the fire station first. Get a very tiny personal car, bringing workers constantly to the fire station, I think. Yeah. Once the fire station is done, we will start the construction of the rail construction office up. I guess once this one has all the materials for the groundworks, we can continue the rail construction office. Yep. Do the groundworks for the fire station. And once it's done, notify me. Same as the rail construction office. And resource deliveries will just be over the dirt road. Should be fine. Is this where you played for the 10 pop challenge? Hello Tillman. This is... Is that the 10 pop challenge? Might be. I don't remember. I think the 10 pop challenge was on a workshop map if I remember correctly. I'm not 100% sure anymore. I think it was a different area. Don't remember. Would need to check the first episode. See what the map looks like. Oh, like what map I selected when I started the game, I guess. Get the train to go through here, run through this area, and then along the flat bed of the river, well, the side. Up to maybe about here, where we can consider a bridge. But the bridge will have to be considered in the way that there might be ships going through this area at some point. I did send this thing in for as a bug report, and it should be fixed next next patch. But I don't think it will get fixed for save games, so people who will start a new game here will probably see a different bridge in the area and not run into problems. Same map if I remember correctly. Okay, might be. I don't remember anymore. It could have been. I mean, we've been... Wait. I do remember building a large bridge. And this doesn't look like that area. We had a bridge going all the way across from such a hill to another side. I don't know. It may have been this area. It feels different, but I can't tell right now. 6% unemployment. 580 workers without a workplace. Time to go towards Hellas and see what's up. Lots of unemployment inside the old town. More unemployment over here, people not getting picked up from the bus stop. So unemployment, 5% is nice, but this will probably have an effect on happiness and loyalty at some point. 22 people unable to get electronics. I think they might be from this area, from Somaska, but I don't know. Since Somaska is our most profitable industry, maybe we should just give them a small store. Wouldn't that be nice? Yeah, they're complaining about electronics a lot. They want me to build an electronics store here. There's no room. It's impossible. See? Started about mid-left side on the eastern border and built a western settlement top left. Yeah. Now this area I recognize. I built the western settlement up here. I think, did we start? I guess we started. Oh, right, it was this way. We had the bridge going this way, not this way. The incinerator was here with the heating plant, now I remember. And we had the rail line go... We basically developed this area with the rail line going up here. Then the rail line coming across this mountainside and cutting across here. Yeah, you're right. I was looking at this and thought, like, this doesn't look anything like that. But yeah, we developed towards the other customs house in Brelov. And towards the western area this way. Now I recognize it. Small store across the police station could lead to problem of not being able to set up another parking lot, but I said I wanted maybe one over here if I develop the area further. So I guess we will have a small store in this area, which should be reachable by anyone. Yep, just went to check, just in case I remembered wrong, it was the same map. Yeah, it's definitely right. The 3 Western Customs houses at the top, definitely recognizable for me. We didn't build much on the map, but it looked pretty cool. Fire station is done. We'll get a fire truck. Road speed is not that important because, well, we don't have any with the dirt roads in the area. Also, the routes are basically going to be unnamed, I think, because they're temporary. And we're just going to shovel in workers with a personal vehicle all the time, which will get interrupted by construction vehicles going to the border, I guess. And also the bus will pick up a few workers every now and then. But we should have access to workers at least most of the time, when it refreshes fast enough. And now we wait for the construction of the rail construction office, and we'll have to get a free rail construction vehicle in here, developing all the way into the rail line to get a connection. I guess we will probably have to develop out this way to get the vehicle, pause all of that, and once we're connected we can buy an EDK or 2 and go crazy. Have to set up the supplies for the rail construction office. Hopefully I won't need an external storage. I think the supply in this area will probably just constantly run around the area. As in, they won't wait until unloaded, they will just continuously drive back and forth in between the customs house and the rail construction office itself. I think we can handle the extra bit of fuel price, although we're importing from the eastern border. Maybe I should run another aluminium train to the east to just make sure we have enough money. Why does it feel like it takes so long for you to build all of this? It's a perfectly fine road. Just takes so long, traveling all the way to our gravel and asphalt plant, gravel area asphalt plant. We could theoretically bring gravel here, bitumen, cement, and then make the materials locally, but it's basically a one-time construction thing, and maybe maintenance will occasionally need it. But right now it's not a concern, having a little bit of a slower construction speed. So yeah, the farm itself works, definitely has room for way more capacity, but all of this on this side of the track, plus this side here, in front of the hill at least, will get developed, I believe. And maybe a bit more. We'll have to find the balance what the farm can basically handle. The other thing we don't need in the area is a snowplow, because during winter we don't need a road clearing service in the area. Which is a little bit unfortunate with this road connection. But we can put down 3 signs, it's fine. I guess we do need a road clearing service up to the gas station, because if there's a fire here I want the road to be cleared. But not the gravel roads, they should stay the way they are right now. Yep, local waste storage. Not a problem anymore. Still have to build this one though. Guess we were waiting for the road to finish, so let's go ahead and queue that one up. University is getting pretty close to the limit. I think I have to institute the loyalty requirement. Running at like 90% higher education is nice and all, but at some point it's getting a little bit too much. I guess we are going to queue up one research. Oh, we're already almost at 17,500 for another one. We're going to queue up one research for only the most loyal students, which requires 2 researchers but only 1 research point. Prioritize high-ranked members into education for most loyal citizens. I will spend my research point on that. One of them at least. That means I only have 1 spare research left. Until we reach a higher population. I think we could go towards recycling. Getting our own biological waste out of Hellas will be very useful. We don't really have to recycle in the smaller villages, I guess. Unless we want to make absolutely sure we use the most out of everything. Fatigue of steel metals to get the cableway station would be nice, but as I said, only if iron gets more expensive, and $11 US is not that great. Needs to be higher again before that. We're going to spend the other research on processing and disposal of waste to do some recycling. We will have to spend 2 research points to get to that. The first one is going to be the waste separation, which unlocks the general waste separation, and then we need the waste separation edification, at which point we can tell our citizens to put a specific type of waste into specific bins. We'll start that. All focus on the research, please. That'll be a very quick research. And yeah, in 400 something people, we can get the waste separation. Although I would probably try and resolve the unemployment first, rather than getting more workers right now. I mean, we could open up another heating plant and take 90 people off of that. Do we have a building that requires a lot of workers? That's only 15. Sports hall, it's too efficient. The Republic Theater requires 20 workers. That's not a lot, but for only 100 visitors, that's quite a bit. Yeah. Only really industrial buildings are what we should be looking at right now. Panorama restaurant is 25. Hotels would be nice, but only the larger ones, and I don't have a research for that. So I guess maybe an industry? Where could we bring them to? I mean, we could bring them over to the clothing factory, which could lead to the prisoners not finding work anymore. I don't know. Don't really know what industry I could set up. We could go for a fabric factory, but that would only really work if we had crops hooked up. Recycling sounds good, gives lots of options and logistic problems. Oh, logistics problems? Damn it, we already selected it. Yes, it's a lot of different resources, but I can choose to only recycle those wastes out that I actually want to handle. I just need to make sure that I set it up in a way where it doesn't overflow. There are going to be warning messages in the next update or some update later, where we get warning messages when waste actually starts overflowing. But not yet. Waste separation next. That one does take the research point. And now we have 0 spare research, up until the point where we get 400 more workers. Good day, comrade. How are the gulags smelling today? They're smelling lovely. One more workday and then I have a week of vacation, although yeah, there's some other issues and there's going to be a lot of stress after that that vacation week, so right now things are looking good. Hopefully I will be able to enjoy my week of vacation, and then in winter it will be a longer one. Looking forward to that. How's your day going? All of you, not just Hailstorm, if you care to tell. I wonder how far the construction of the small store already went. Not that far. Groundwork's being built, but I guess it's fine. The vehicle bringing resources to Klibriusk can also probably keep that store filled. Clothing and electronics are not used up that quickly inside villages, I guess. I don't know, we're getting to the point where money is not really an issue anymore. But thankfully we have a goal of like at least 50,000 citizens. Also, but then again, it is starting to lag a little bit every now and then. Not when I'm over free terrain, but when I'm looking in certain directions, which is good. Because that means they might be able to optimize those lags out. Because if it was lagging right now when I'm not looking at anything, it's not the graphical power, it's the simulation that might be causing issues. Will you be streaming during your vacation? Yes. I have no plans to go anywhere else. I just want to probably sleep longer and relax. And as crazy as it sounds, playing Workers and Resources is a little bit relaxing to me because I can focus on one thing and blur everything out, I guess. So I have to set up the coal mine. Just thinking about recycling without distribution offices is giving me a headache. It's gonna be so relaxing, guys. It's gonna be absolutely relaxing. I'm gonna be spending my vacation thinking about trash. Oh. Wait. Yes. The other one was this research. I was wondering. But this one takes a little bit longer because it's a small building. No Hall of Residence issues here though. Got the waste separation research done. Waiting on a few more citizens. I don't know how many flats we have free, if we can get to that. Population count wise in Hellas? Unlikely. We would need another residential building. And placing another residential building here could cause unemployment. But we have another one planned. Any complaints? Just unemployment. I also might have to set up another police station, seeing 2 cases here. Is another case coming in? No? Okay. Another police station just to be safe. I don't want to have any surprises with crime this game. I want to keep on top of it. Courthouse allowing full employment as well. A lot of workers from the bus stop should be able to get to it, but I guess the bus stop is a little bit overworked right now. We could get another fire truck for the heating plant area. We have so many workers, just reduce unemployment right now, instead of dropping them off into another industry. It's so crazy how much money we're making with the logging. I don't know. If that collapses, it will throw us into a little bit of disarray. But that by that point, we hopefully will be able to export crops. And we're also currently set up to export them to the west, which I guess is fine. But I think crop exports to the east might also be nice. Yeah, we'll just wait. I'm not in a hurry for this. Might be worth it to stick along the mountainside and cross it earlier, so we have a bridge that can cross this without blocking any of the ships that we might have in the future. I'm also thinking about only building one rail line right now, just to get the EDKs delivered. Or at least have the option to have an EDK. I think the rail construction vehicles we have right now are doing a pretty good job. But they could be faster. Could always be faster. Okay, next research. First one didn't unlock anything, except more research, and now we need the education for only the most loyal citizens. At which point we can adjust the slider. And adjust the slider in the Hall of Residence. To restrict our... Basically we can restrict our loyalty to 50% in here. And then to like 65% in the Hall of Residence, in case like someone studies but doesn't finish until 21. They need to be at least 65% loyalty to be able to continue studying, so we can filter out some of our students. You have to be at least 50% to attempt to study. Oh, I guess 60 maybe. It's already getting bit crowded here. But yeah, 65% to finish. We do need the recycling. We want to get a headache, I guess. Where's the rail line gonna go? I wanted it to move along the river here too. We're on a different river. But I guess instead of going along the river, we could just cross it in this area and then cut through the mountain section over here and join this one. So we'd be traveling along here, cutting across with a decently sized bridge. Probably all the way up to here. This is gonna be really difficult to set up without vehicles. This might be not that great looking. So maybe a temporary railroad with only one rail line is in order, which would be acceptable, and we could keep that along the riverbed and cut it across here, so we don't block the area that I want the rail line to actually go at. So yeah, we'll just get a temporary rail line without any flattening. Except very close to the customs house, that area should be set up. And the only thing we're going to do is get EDKs, I guess, for which we will need US currency, ruble currency, Soviet currency, and the track builder is going to cost us almost 2 million per. So we'll have to definitely transfer some aluminium to get that. I could make a dedicated train that is only for transporting aluminium. and I'm gonna do that. We're gonna set up an emergency train that picks up aluminium from the western customs house to transfer it to the eastern border. Or I guess in this case steel, because we have nothing that can carry aluminium. I could manually buy containers, but I don't really want to do that, so I guess we would be hauling steel from the west to the east. Thankfully, we can haul a lot of steel. That would be quite a bit of money. Should have recolored them before buying them, I guess. We only have to color the covered cableway cars. The open ones can stay red. That should be enough. We'll get all of those vehicles, combine a train and do a test run and see how much money we get once our train gets here. It's very fast to accelerate without pulling anything. Okay. Loyalty settings have been unlocked. Let's get them in place. And make sure we don't run into any issues where our university runs full. We definitely don't need that many highly educated workers. I'm going to restrict research, education, studying to 60% loyalty. And as I said, the loyalty requirement to be able to study past 21 is 65. In all areas. I guess our village shouldn't be as strict, but we're gonna be as strict. And then we'll see if we run into any problems. Yeah, we have the loyalty here. It'll be fine. We did 2 researches back to back, so a bunch of students piled up. But that was before we instituted the loyalty requirement in the area. And no one is higher than 70, it looks like. 70 is still the maximum. We could probably give some people cars to push it higher, but yeah. Does NATO side even have a rail construction vehicle? No, we had to buy one from the eastern border. And build with eastern rail construction vehicles ever since. So we had to develop a rail lane to Molnar Customs up here to get our rail construction vehicles delivered. And then we used that as a line to basically move trains for scrapping. Our old rail construction vehicles have been moved to the scrapyard, which is in Klibriusk over there, connected to the train line. Not Klibriusk, sorry, Kolata is over here. So the Molnar Customs House that I just showed, all the way over here is the rail construction office somewhere. There's a rail line going across here into a scrapyard. And we can use that to scrap and update our trains, if we want to. But trains last a very long time. Where did my train go? There it is. It picked up all but one. That's how it's gonna look. Gonna have capacity for 880 tons of steel, I think. Which should give a decent amount of money. Not as much as aluminium, but we can run more than once. Rail construction office is done. That means the construction office vehicles aren't really necessary anymore. We'll just pick up gravel and put it into the rail construction office. We will get a rail construction vehicle, a disassembled track builder, to get our first connection. We don't need any electronics. We just need steel, prefab panels, bricks and boards. And I don't think we will need boards. So really we only need 3 materials. Meaning that I guess we also need fuel and electricity. Oh no, wait, they've changed it. I think the track builder can refuel without electricity now? Just very slowly? I guess we're gonna find out. Go here, pick up fuel, bring it to the gas station, and then bring it to the rail construction office. We also shouldn't need bricks until we get to a bridge. So I don't know if this will work without electricity, but getting the electricity set up is also not going to be too difficult. Last time we drew it from Brelov, I think. Just need a substation and some wire. Copy you over, and then change you to prefab panels and I guess bricks. Actually, we need more prefab panels than anything else, so you're just gonna do prefab panels, and the steel truck will do more. We'll restrict your capacity for steel by 2. And your capacity for bricks by, I guess, that way. We need 50, 25, 15, 10-ish resources here. And we need to swap the prefab panels and the steel around, because we need more prefab panels per track than steel. And I guess now we need to send workers here too. So let's do that. I do believe that it won't refuel without electricity. If that's the case, we'll just have to get this substation set up. So basically move all of the vehicles back in. Or just get different vehicles, I guess. We have the money for it. Maybe a free bus station, maybe. Yeah, probably. We'll get everything constructed and then relocate some vehicles to allow a free bus station in the area. One less vehicle. Going back and forth to the customs house will improve the throughput of the other bus, which can carry enough to bring workers to the rail construction office. And okay, we don't need electricity, never mind. Seems like it will be able to refuel just very, very slowly. Good to know. Well, that's all we need. I guess then we can put the bus stop there. And the personal car will be just sold. I think we need to tell this one to wait until unloaded at the train depot, really. It's driving around too much. That is one truck that we can just have wait here, I guess. The other ones should be constantly busy as soon as we get an EDK, I think. And the other rare construction vehicle that we are using right now will also be sold, because I can't really stop it from doing things inside the rare construction office. Otherwise I would keep it around, but until we can send it to the scrapyard. But that's not an option. $1,560 tons of crops with the fields that we have. So we could go up like 8 times the amount of fields, at least capacity wise, per year. Not sure how many vehicles we can have. I don't want to have more vehicles, because I don't want to set up fields with routes. We have to have everything done by the farms, which are technically behaving similar to a distribution office, but they aren't. They are legit. Yeah. This area over here, maybe through this section is going to be the best way to get to the other river, which can have a bridge just go across. And that means we could also start the rail construction over here to get to that point and build towards this direction where we have a tunnel boring machine already. We will probably set that up once we have the farms hooked up, because I would like to export some crops and test a very long train. Let me take a look. Also, there's going to be something different. We are going to do a shared game where we are sharing a map between 5 people. I'm going to be the next one to play it. Probably tomorrow. I'm not sure yet if I'm going to stream in German or English, but that one might be a German stream. We'll see. So if you want to listen to me talking in German, having trouble understanding things, we are probably going to do a German stream, and I will mark it as such. And that will be the occasional stream in between our series, which won't delay anything. It'll be an additional stream, basically. 2 people have already played the map. I'm going to get it after, and we'll see what we get. Yeah, every person does 2 years of game time before handing it off to the next one.
And we've also decided to do low tech in that run, which I'm very happy about. Makes it pretty cool. No mods also. Yeah, I think the setup's gonna work fine. Still need to set up electricity up here and the like, but in general this is just not a problem. I guess the farm itself already has electricity, but I will give it to the grain silo too. I don't think it needs it. It probably should, if it doesn't. I'm not 100% sure it needs it right now. For loading and unloading, electricity is probably necessary. We will get an EDK, and then I will probably call the stream to a close because I have some other things that I need to do. And we'll continue this tomorrow. Not sure if before or after the other stream. I think I'll do the German stream first. Maybe tomorrow only one stream, I'm not sure yet. Maybe tomorrow this Republic will be a late night stream, if it happens. We'll see. One more construction task, really. I mean, we could have all vehicles wait until unloaded. There's not really going to be any fire truck or other truck heading here. And since we're not delivering to workers anymore directly to the building, they can just stop driving around. Only problem is, of course, we're waiting to unload steel and bricks, and that's incorrect. We should only really wait to unload steel. And not the other one. Oh, okay, now we don't have any room for gravel anymore. Gravel is more important. Then I guess we'll not wait until unloaded on this truck, and therefore have one room free at all times, and one truck running around back and forth. We'll need one more construction phase after this, and then we've reached the border and we can get an EDK. Nine more work days. Then we'll sell the vehicle. I need to run the steel train because we need money. There it is. We have to pick up one more train car and then we can assemble the train to get the money. Heating plant number 3 is on the fire. And it's already being put out. I do wonder if it's possible to build with more disregard for pollution. Especially when you have to research for it, but I always feel like whenever I get close to the heating plants or any other industry that can cause pollution, things go bad really quickly. That might be because of the self-imposed restrictions, I guess. Alright, Klebriusk, Somaska, Papa, and then Tabovina. Another stop, unloading clothing and electronics over here. And then they can't really complain about either anymore. unless there's a shortage because of a supply issue, which we would then fix as it comes up. I must say that setting up all of these routes, if they're set up and they're working, it's a little bit better than a distribution office because they're just running. Like, yes, they might get repairs and there might be a little bit of a shortage because of that. But with a distribution office, it's easy to say, okay, add that building, add that building, add that building, and then, oh my god, we don't have enough throughput anymore. If I add more vehicles, if I need more throughput, yes, I can add them as additional stops, but it becomes obvious quite quickly. And then I guess I need to add another line. With a distribution office, you would need to build a whole new distribution office, I guess. I'm currently considering if I would keep using lines. I mean, I've been using lines for like things like a refrigerated truck, and for industries with a lot of volume where you constantly have vehicles running around. But the question is, would I still use lines for things like delivering resources to a shopping center, warehouse? Or the inner city lines that bring resources to grocers? Probably yes. I think instead of wasting a distribution office, spending space for a distribution office, I would probably build lines only, create lines instead. Why are you blocked? There's no train here? Why is this one red? I think the signal is bugged again. Yep, now it's green. Not sure. It might have a path from here through this somehow. Shouldn't really be the case, but you never know. Wait, that was a very long situation where the rail line is blocked. Okay, now it's working. Never mind. There's the last rail car for steel. Hopefully, if we just sold that one, that would be so much money anyway. But yeah, we will set up a transportation route to bring steel from the west to the east. And this train is pretty fast. Yep, there's the train inside. And a slow construction train ahead. Awesome. Do I need to build overtaking lanes or something? Once we have the EDK, they're going to be a little bit faster. But the EDK will have to be brought from quite far away. We're also going to put the customs designation behind the name of this, so we know we are connected. And our rail construction has done what we asked. So let's get the EDK. We can't, it's too expensive. Let's get the EDK and sell the other one. Should be able to refuel. Let's start the construction of everything. Just go, yeah, already refueled. Seems like it doesn't need electricity for some reason. Okay. Got an EDK building a track for us now. Completely opposite side of the map, but at least it's a start. And at some point we can probably meet. You, with your 880 tons of steel capacity, are going to go here, load steel, and export. And then go back to the depot. How much money will that be? Will it be enough to pay our loans back? I would assume so. 880 tons of steel is quite a bit. We're gonna repay the loan, and then I will call it, I think. I will also try and radio over to Achsteffen, who is streaming in German, but he's currently running our Gemeinschaftsproject, the one map that I will take over if you want to take a look at that. And I will also probably stream it in German as a... it's a completely different thing. I don't even know if I can stream in German. That would be weird. I'll decide it spontaneously. Wood exports, 240,000 US dollars, because why not? All lines occupied. Looks like the other train is getting priority. Okay, but there will be another free slot soon. Yeah, could have another waiting platform here. That separating out the trains that want to go left from the trains that want to go right. But we're going to move a lot of train traffic to the other customs house. The farm area with the village is going to be pretty busy when it comes to trains. Let's see how much money 880 tons of steel is in rubles. $3.2 million-ish. Should be enough to pay back our loan and have some extra to continuously run the rail construction, I guess. But it's also good to know that you can just run rail construction anywhere without electricity. I guess the fuel unloading might be slower because of the fuel pump. They have to manually move the fuel, but that's fine. Okay, it's more than 4 million. We'll finish the train, right? And then pay back the loan, and then I'm gonna call it. Next time we're probably gonna plan out the rail line along this route. Hopefully we won't need too many flattening vehicles, but this looks pretty good. Maybe this needs to be moved in a little bit. And then all the way up here, where we might have to attach to the hill and start climbing it so we get to a reasonable level. And then cut across to this side. Then tunnel through here, and we're at this river, where we need to build a bridge. And then maybe we can already build a proper bridge from this side into this mountainside, and then slowly come down towards the river elevation level. And that would also be the rail line that then turns left here, because this would be our harbor area at some point. And I've seen some fairly neat harbor setups recently on Twitch. I've rated a stream, and they had a pretty good setup. How's our education looking? The amount of students has been reduced pretty well, so we'll have to keep an eye on and see that only with the students that we have that we can still fulfill all of the tasks in our settlement. But this might also lower the requirement of giving electronics to our citizens, which I guess I would like for them to all have it now, but I don't know. 7 adults can't study. 506 university students who can't study, 23%. So judging by that number, we would reduce our university education in this area by 23%. And right now I think we're like at the average nationwide, which is 87, so 60%-ish. Sounds reasonable. Steel export is commencing. We're going to return our money. And that's gonna be it. So as I said, we're gonna raid Achsteffen. I hope he didn't cancel the stream in the meantime. Let me put that in. And I will be back tomorrow, or at the very latest Saturday, if everything goes well. As always, thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the stream. Have a premature good start to your weekend. All the best. Take care. And as always, maybe I'll see you next time.